Hey there, Bourbon Street Joe here. It is Sunday evening, dinner time. Good news, I talked to Mrs. Joe today and she'll be home probably tomorrow around noon. She has left her family's home up north and she's heading back south. She's probably going to crash out tonight somewhere about halfway in between instead of driving for 15 to 16 hours, which is amazing. So with her back tomorrow, I shall be back on solid food instead of banging off rations every night for dinner. I appreciate everybody bearing with me during this time. I know it's a lot of content. It's a lot to devote one's day to watching a half-hour video every day. So I shall reduce my rate to probably 1 or 2 videos a week. Maybe more, depending on the season, the holiday, that kind of thing. But yeah, thanks everybody who's subscribed and has kind of stuck with me. Hopefully my silence over the next couple of days will give you time to catch up on the content I've released and, give it that or, that. And a couple of comments here and there. I see the comment sections are starting to fill up, so that's it's good to see I'm appreciated, if nothing for maybe laugh content or something like that. Anyway, Sunday, we're going to bang off tonight's dinner. So we are looking at a Spanish individual combat ration. Armed forces thereof, obviously. So this one is in date, October 2023. So we're pretty good there. NATO approved. Best before, obviously the country of origin. Other than that, it's pretty nondescript, olive drab, white. Has the Spanish, it's the flag per se, but the military colors or the colors of the flag. So this is a lunch. B3 is the menu. Now with Spanish rations, there are, to my understanding, there's 3 breakfasts. There are 5 lunches and there are 5 dinners. But the only distinction between the lunch and the dinner is lunch A is a lunch and lunch B is a dinner, which is vaguely confusing, but hey, that's the way they do it. Who might argue? Anyway, let's crack into this. Let's see what we have here. Oh yeah. We'll do it this way, because I brought something down. I'd kind of forgotten about it. So a couple of videos ago, pardon me. I had mentioned how something handy and dandy had pretty much saved my meal when my ration decided that I wasn't going to eat it. And that's when I alluded to the fact that a Gerber, and this happens to be the Terminator 3 version, a Gerber multiplier or a Leatherman multi-tool would be handy dandy. I always preferred Gerbers simply for the one-handed opening on those, and you can also close them in one hand. The brief joke I will leave you with to contemplate. If you've seen the movie, you'll understand it. If you haven't, you may never see an unrated version of this movie ever again. So in order to open this, excuse me while I whip this out. Again, if you've seen the movie, you get it. And the thing I like about this one is these lock. Whether you have this open or closed, it locks via these little attachments here. So the original Gerber that I carried back when I was in the reserves, it didn't have that function, so you could fold something out. But if you were cutting something and it wobbled a bit, it would, yeah, not the most stable thing in the world, for sure. Get that open. And as you can tell, this is like a fairly flimsy plastic packaging. Obviously, it's going to be water resistant. I'm not sure if it's waterproof. I probably wouldn't dunk it if I were you, but that's what we're looking at. Speaking of looking at, let's look at it. $950 or 2 pounds, 1.5 ounces. That's actually quite hefty, all things considered. Anyway, now that I've remembered to not forget, I'm gonna pretty much simple cardboard box, no adornment, no surprises. If anybody's ever seen these before, I'm sure they've seen, everybody's done a Spanish ration, so at least done a video and we've seen them, right? So this is our, obviously it's Spanish. Hang on a sec here, I've just got, heat our water up here. And we have it in English, we have it in French, and then Spanish, English, French again. So here would be our English table of contents. Right, so we have 20 gram vegetable soup, 200 gram beef and sauce, 120 tin of mackerel in brine. Yeah. 190 gram of pears in syrup, and a 70 gram pate. We have water purification tablets, fuel tabs, isotonic powder with vitamin C, 5 grams, so 20 grams of that, chewing gum, matches, stove, bag with cellulose paper, 10 sheets, butt ration, fluoride toothpaste, hand disinfectant, and, set the world aflame there, instructional label. So this does have water purification tablets, so I will pause right here, right now, before we get into this, get the water ready for the tablets, be right back. Okay, so this is probably going to be the last time I can use one of these without asking permission, which Mrs. Joe may or may not give me. All right, we have our soup. Sopa de verduras. Well, that sounds awfully like some sort of vegetable soup. Verde in French is green, Spanish I'm not sure. Anyway, soup. Instructions out of the way here. Matches, red tip. Let's see if we can get some of this stuff out first. We have our 1, 2, 3, 4 sachets of isotonic powder. Now this stuff, I think you can do it one of two. You can either put it directly into water, drink it like you would a Gatorade, an MRE beverage powder, IMP, or you can just dump the dry contents in your mouth and take a shot of water with it. Kind of 50-50 on that one. This is a disinfectant gel for your hands, obviously. Crema dental florada. No, just stick with English. So obviously toothpaste, fluoride toothpaste. Here are our solid fuel tablets, 3 of those. Chewing gum, chicle, just like chiclets. And there's one big piece in there. Okay, not 2, but 1. This is going to be our, that should be 190 grams. That should be our beef. Oh, that's our pears in syrup. Wow, good call on that one, eh? Not. This is our tin of beef, carne. Yes, of course. So that's our beef with, It just says with sauce. In sauce, yes. In sauce with sauce. On syrup, if you care to go to Chile. So this is our fish in brine. And not only is it, yeah, it's mackerel. I like mackerel. Very tasty stuff. 70 gram, this is going to be our pate. Again, I just saw a couple of reviews. La pimentia, it just seemed like a pepper pate. It did definitely not seem like a pate with some sort of hot peppers in it or that kind of thing. That's the relish I'm looking for. Your butt ration and your foldy bendy stovey. That's it. That's all she wrote. All you get. So, ooh. Wait one. Yeah, 2 tabs. 1 tab does 1 liter. So, wow. I don't have scissors on that one. That's fine. Just don't want to open both at the same time. I don't have to. Okay, open neither of them at the same time. Yeah, handy. So that purifies our 1 liter of water. And that looks awfully, fizzy. You probably see that, even though it's kind of in the background, you can see that through the jar. Actually, it's a little more magnified. Yeah, if I do it like that. Huh. It looked an awful lot like the Turkish one, but I don't remember the Turkish one fizzing. Anyway, we'll let that do its thing. I will organize this mess here, and I will be right back. Okay, so midway through setting everything up, I thought I'd 2 birds, 1 stone this thing. So, because we have a foldy bendy stoldy, issue canteen cat goes away. Pull that out. So 1 goes down, 1 goes down, goes up, goes up. And in. There's your, obviously your airflow. Now, before we do this, the last couple videos I saw on this, I had a bit of a problem with the getting them lit. Oh, hang on. Yep, fish. I guess that's pretty much a universal sign for fuel tablet. Smell of fish. Anyway, they had a bit of a problem getting the tabs lit, so I thought I would maybe work around that by putting up the fuel tab, putting it down, striking one of those red tips. Yep, because fuel tabs light better from the side. Don't try this at home, kids. There. Haha, success. So we'll take Mr. Bendy, Foldy Bendy, put him back over here. Take our 250 mils or 1 cup, i.e. that is 8 ounces of room temperature water, set that on. Okay, I'm gonna resume what I was doing, and we'll start a timer on that, and we'll see where we get. Be right back. Well, isn't that interesting? We learn something every day. So, it's been 27 minutes and 15 seconds. Second fuel tab. This thing is not boiled. But I found something out. Here, let me show you. So, there she is on the brick. Right? Fuel's in there. This is the way it's been going. And when I've been doing this, I've had the door open to the studio just because the fumes on this are just noxious. So I've been breathing this stuff for half an hour, don't worry. But I've noticed this. When I went to check it to see, like, okay, how close visually to a boil is it? I lifted it up. And this was around, like I said, about 27 minutes, 15 seconds. I lifted it up, which let a whole bunch more O2 flow into those fuel tabs. And this is the reaction. You can hear it evaporating instantly on the side of the cup because it's so hot. So what I found out is that if you're gonna foldy, bendy, I would not bend these 90 degrees. I would bend them maybe like 45, so they kind of stick out a bit more. You probably get a lot more oxygen flow, and you get a cuppa quicker than 30 minutes. Anyway, I just found that out. I'll share that, and we'll get back to putting that out and getting on with this. Be right back. Okay, that's out. That's had at least half an hour now, thanks to that. So let's give this a sip, see what it tastes like. Doesn't smell like anything. Doesn't taste like anything. And there was two things I when I was waiting for water to boil, two things I noticed. One is this little tidbit that says one tablet can raise the temperature of 250 mils or 1 cup of water to 70 degrees centigrade. So however long that takes, again, I guess it depends on the oxygen flow and everything like that. And the water purification tablets, the instructions here are identical to the last ones I had. About one tablet at a time, stir until totally dissolved, are ready for consumption in 30 minutes. Like they seem to be almost like it's the same, could be the same company. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure, but moving on. Start with this wonderful stuff. There are directions of a sort in Spanish, but they seem to mostly instruct you how many doses a day. So you're supposed to have, maybe focus in there. It basically says 2 doses a day. It doesn't give an amount of water or whatever you should down it with. I'm hoping that's enough. No, I'm not measuring that because I'm going to do something foolish and just put this directly in my mouth and follow it with a large swig of water. And that's the taste sensation right there. Makes the water taste better. Oh my. Yeah, you could do it that way. It's the best way of describing it would be like taking a mouthful of, if I said orange tang, that might be generous to the flavor of orange. Some sort of vaguely, something that almost tastes like Sunny D, I guess, but tang crystals. Sunny D crystals? Entirely possible. Anyway, that's exactly what that tastes like. Yeah. I don't know if I'd want to do that twice a day. Where's my... For the sake of argument, we could definitely see. Pretty sure the one reviewer I saw did something like 200 mils of... Yes, I already shook the canteen. No, there's no air bubbles. Like 100 mils of water or something like that, maybe to... mix that up in and then give it a taste test and see how good it was in... I think they used 200 mils of water, so like I said, 100 mils of water. Okay, yeah, a little darker on the powder. Just a little odd maybe for a... Yeah, see, that's really clumped up in there. Odd for like a best before 2023, but... Yeah, that really darkens up too. That's pretty much looking like iced tea and not, well, and again, I don't read Spanish. I don't think there's a tea component to this, but... That's not really dissolved, but that's just going to be straight up chunky at the bottom. But see if that's any better. Give it a swirl first, see if I can't get the powder down. That there, folks, that's not the way to do that. Just put it in your mouth, suck back some water. That's just, it's just a watery version of getting a mouthful of powder, but a little more diluted. So honestly, I wouldn't head in that direction, guys. And our pate. Again, I can, tocino, okay, so it's pork liver. Last one I saw on these, I'm pretty sure it... Yeah, it pushes up a bit. He was concerned about health, but... No, that smells like a potted... That's pretty good. Like a liver luncheon meat. Very creamy, very fine texture. Well, not super fine. There's some chunks in there too. That's not chunks in a bad way. That's chunks in a good way. So there's little bits of texture in there. As I said before, though, I do enjoy pate. I do enjoy liver, which I know is not kind of like not within everybody's palates, we'll say. Try our soup. It says right there 20 centiliters or 200 milliliters. So. Yep, Terre Notch. Yep, it's Terre Notch. Little tear. It does resemble the outside of the pouch. Mils of hot water. There we go. Don't spill any more, please. Nice. Oops. So we have, it is very green. It's almost like a pea soup color, not necessarily consistency. Probably not peas. Yep, got some croutons. That's salty. Herby, salty. Croutons are nice. Even just sitting in there that long, they've gone more of a mush, less of a crunch. So that's pretty good. We will do our, yeah, let's crack into that. So that is mackerel in brine. So I'm assuming just straight up mackerel fillets in water, I would guess, salt water. There is fish liquid everywhere. I'll only peel it back that far, just because I don't want to make any more of a mess. And hopefully I could find my fork. Oh, that looks really flaky, which is really good, but it's also swimming in a ton of oil, so. Okay. That is really, really tasty fish. Very flaky and very tasty. But it's also not just brine as in salted. There's a vinegar component to that as well, so it's like a pickled mackerel in a tin. Can't beat that. Got our main here. Thanks. You know what? Just see if it works. Juice, a little fat. There we go. Without tearing everything apart here and dropping everything. Yeah, so it's just like chunks of beef in beef juices, I guess. Definitely huge chunks in there. You can tell it's quite fatty. It's dripping everywhere. But give that a taste. It's not. I assumed it was going to be very salty. It's not. It's just beef. Lightly salted, like lightly salted. In its own juice. Very simple, but nothing wrong with simple. Simple is sometimes the best tasting, in my opinion. Let's move on to, so I'm gonna fly through this here. Still a few chores I have to get done before Mrs. Joe gets home, so might be a long night. We have our pears in syrup. A little mushy, but not bad. Oh, geez, let's spell this. Go that way. So that is half of a piece of pear, and there's about half a dozen pieces in there in the syrup. So, that's good. It's not super firm, but it's not super mushy. It's a little gritty, which I admit I don't like in pears. That's why I generally don't like pears. But that's a personal thing. That's got nothing to do with this. Yeah. Love those. Almost like out of an IMP bag. Or I haven't had the American ones yet, so I can't vouch for that. And that pretty much leaves us with our fluoride toothpaste, which goes with the toothbrush, which comes in the breakfast, so not going to help. Our disinfectant gel, we didn't use it. I'm okay. And our last thing is our huge honking piece of gum. No scent. It's peppermint. Fairly strong peppermint. Yes, I just put that on the wrapper because it's a lot of flavors. Anyway, give me a sec. I will clean this up, weigh up, and conclusions, and then we're done for the night. Be right back. Okay, so we've cleaned up. We are back. All our garbage here. Wait. Stay. Matches. Got a couple of pouches I didn't use. Obviously the drinks and that. So maybe another, I don't know, 8 grams. So 177 grams. Not bad. Obviously the cans are going to be a lot heavier than pouch retorts kind of thing. And you're going to have to deal with these in a different way. You have to bury them more. You can't just shove them in a box or a bag or something. They'll rattle like crazy. Anyway, first try at a Spanish one. Hope to do more. Hope to probably do actually do like a breakfast going into a lunch, into a dinner, maybe. If I'll 3-part it, maybe not. Anyway, before I forget the Imperial, because I'll do that as well. 6.1 ounces. Yeah, back at work tomorrow, guys. Mrs. Joe's back tomorrow. Yay. Again, thanks for sticking with me. I appreciate it. And hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.